Hello, everybody, and welcome to Seaside Shadows, Witchy Wednesday. Sorry about being a few moments late, was just getting prepared. And as you can see, we're in a little bit of a different setup. Your resident witch, well, at least your witch today, does not do well with the humidity and the outside, but we'll still be outside plenty, especially when the full moon and all sorts of other things that we'll be creating. But today I wanted to go live with something kind of special. And a lot of you know, but a lot of you don't know that I'm also practicing spirit medium. And as a spirit medium, I have varying forms of divination that I like to use. A lot of what I do is connecting with people who have passed, but I also do a lot of readings that have to do with tarot cards, angel cards, tea leaf reading, runes, everything of that nature. And I thought it would be a nice way to start Witchy Wednesday this week, as just sort of the way things fell. Sometimes spirit takes control, and I thought I haven't done since all of these virtual segments reading for folks, you know, directly from the cards live. And so we're going to do an angel card reading live today, a 3-card pull. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about angel cards and what this 3-card pull today that we're going to do live means for you. So the history of tarot dates back some time. Some would say medieval centuries, some later in the 1600s and 1700s in southern Italy. And tarot was always a form of divination that really gained popularity in the 1800s and the Victorian era, and especially with the move of spiritualism and seances and things like that, tarot really escalated in popularity. And it has this essence to it that allows us to have a tool of some kind to sort of predict the future, but it also allows us to gain insight into who we are. But that's done a lot through symbolism and interpretation and gut instinct. Where angel cards differ from tarot is slightly, but it has to do a lot with how the reading takes place. So angel cards are based on a tarot deck, and they have the 4 suits, and they have the minor cards, and they have the major cards. You might hear minor arcana and major arcana, and in future sessions we'll delve more into the specifics of tarot. Angel cards are similar in that way, but angel cards really escalated in popularity in the 1800s as well. But the means of communication to get an effective reading from angel cards versus tarot was spirit communication, being able to channel that information directly from another realm or beyond the veil, or however you feel comfortable saying it. And so communicating with spirit really was the most effective way with cards was through angel cards. I've always connected with angel cards. I love my regular tarot. I have a million tarot decks. I love my ancient runes, which similarly produce divination. I loved giving tea leaf readings. But one of the first readings I ever started doing, and one of the readings I first connected with, was angel cards. In a lot of ways, I feel angel cards help me because I do communicate with spirit directly. So that was the card deck that I was drawn to. And then I later got acclimated to the interpretation that went with tarot, but communicating with spirit fit well with angel cards. So that's something that we're going to talk about today, who's giving information, where that's coming from, and why that will be relevant to you. So when we start with the angel cards today, the 3-card pull is considered a past, present, future reading. For those of you watching live and wondering, or watching later and going, oh my gosh, I missed it live, is that not applicable to me? When you're watching this reading, it is applicable to you in that moment. You're watching exactly when you're meant to be watching. So when we do this sort of universal card pull, it is meant for you at this time. And I definitely want to hear feedback when we're doing the reading, or whether you're watching it, you know, an hour from now, a week from now, a month from now, if it's what you needed at that time. So to start with the angel cards, I'm going to introduce you to the deck that we'll be using today. This is a Guardian Angel deck. It was my very first deck of angel cards. I have so much sun coming in this window right now, but I think you can see the lovely Victorian angel lady, which is a nice nod to the Victorian era where angel card readings really took off. And so when we do a past, present, and future reading or any reading at all, it's important that we cleanse the deck from previous readings. You don't want anyone else's energy in there. And since we're doing this for so many people and we want to make sure the cards are pure for each person at their moment, it's important that in addition to me saying the prayer that I say or intent that I want this deck cleansed of all previous readings, I want all the angels and loved ones and guides that are meant to give readings to their loved ones today to be able to have this deck, and we welcome nothing with ill intent. We've said that out loud. And then I also have this lovely clearing sage spray. And so we're going to sage it of all previous energies and invite in the good. And so if you're watching, whether live or later, just take a moment, a brief moment, and set the intent that you hear what you need to hear today, and I'll set that with you. Okay, very good. So what I'm going to do next, now that it's cleansed, is keep shuffling them a little bit while I'm chatting with you. Not for terribly long, but we'll shuffle for a bit of time, just to make sure that the cards are good and mixed around and that you get the most effective reading out of this. So with the angel cards, they will not tell you anything is preordained. Sometimes they can be tough love, but we do believe in free will. That's something that I believe in. And so if you hear in the cards today that something sounds a little bit harsh, know that you have the means to change it, and your angels and your loved ones believe in you completely. So with that, I'm going to spread out the cards right here on my lovely desk. The way that the camera is faced, you can't see them so well because I'm using a computer rather than a mobile device. And we are having them in a semicircle. So now that I'm looking at the semicircle, I'm touching all of the cards and I'm asking the right ones to jump out at me. One already did, so someone already set their intent. But as you're watching me pull the cards, just make sure you're setting your intention too. Right on top. One of them right on top jumped out. So I'm just taking a look at the cards that we pulled today. And I think there's great diversity in these cards, which is a great way to show that there's so many people cards are going to be applicable to in one way, shape, or form. So the first card we're going to pull, and that we pulled out of the deck, is from the action part. So there are four, parts of the deck. There are, in this deck, there are action cards, there are thought cards, there are motion cards, and there are abundance cards. A lot of times it has to do with who we are as people or how we react to things. Action cards mean that you're a doer and you're going forward and you're always making progress, that you're someone that just can't help doing. And our past card in the foundation talks about action, and it's the 2 of action. So 2 is a powerful number in this reading. It's the only number that comes up in this reading of the 3 decks. So 2 is a number you may be seeing cycle more, and it shows a need of evenness and balance in your life, and something that for you to thrive, you need to feel a sense of balance. The biggest thing about this card, the 2 of action, that shows 2 people walking on it, talking to each other, needing balance, is also a sense that while you feel you need balance, and oftentimes you feel that balance has to come from someone else, you need to trust your own instincts and your own choices. And this is going to be a message that comes through in all 3 cards. There's a lot of believing in your own gut and trusting your gut, not what someone else says they're going to do, not what someone else says they think you should do. You need to trust your gut instinct about the other people and things that are going on in your life. And I do keep seeing images from spirit that sometimes there are people in our lives that we keep around or get rid of based on what other people think. Whoever's seeing this, if that's your situation, it's incredibly important that you trust your gut instinct about whether someone is fit for your life and okay to be there. And it says there's opportunity around you to move forward. So this card is a reminder that you have a tendency to fall stagnant or feel like you're treading water, or you're not making progress to the goals and dreams that you maybe held yourself accountable to when you were younger. When this comes in the past foundation area of the reading, this is a reminder that you're not as stagnant as you think. You're not treading water. You can release the people that are not serving you. And this is also a card that reminds you that it's okay to still want people in your life, but you have to pick the right partners. There's a lot of partner selection in this, and make sure you pick the right partners in life, whether they're romantic, friendship, business. This is something that keeps cycling back for you. Your ability to make choices and trust in yourself enough that you pick the right person to go on that journey with you, who's not going to take everything from you and who's also going to trust you as well. So this card is a lot about partnership, trust, and getting rid of those who don't serve you and propelling yourself forward from any stagnant situation. And this is the Two of Action. I'm not sure if it will show up backward for you. It likely will on the camera, but we can also look at imagery like we would with tarot. We see the two people hand in hand, partnership, trust in one another, but also one person is kind of leading the conversation, hands in the air, and that's the trust in themselves, you being the leader in your own life. So make sure that you are the leader in your own life. You can love the partners that you work with and that you entrust with everything, but that you're the leader, and that will propel you out of any stagnant place that you're in. When it comes in the past position, this means this is a situation you may find yourself in often. That's just your nature, and that's absolutely okay. That means that you're a person who really wants to care about what other people think and what they say. The angels are just really encouraging your self-confidence and your gut instincts to come on top of whatever anyone else is saying. You can love them and trust them, but trust your instincts above all. And if you do have someone in your life who is not in your best interest, the angels are telling you to get rid of them, and they'll put the right person in your path. Now, the present card is a really great one, and it translates directly with the past card. So the past card is saying, get rid of what doesn't serve you, believe in yourself, go forward from this stagnant position. And the present card is the messenger of thought. So the action has propelled to the messenger who's going forward with the good news that you are going to do something new, that you are with the right people. And it's also acknowledging at the present is a time where you're thinking of a new topic or project, that your mind is going a mile a minute. And I actually think this is a perfect timing for a present card. A lot of us in this situation that we're in with the pandemic have been finding our minds are working in new and curious ways, that we're finding parts of ourselves that have been forgotten, that we're also getting new ideas on how to move forward with our dreams. And so this card encourages us to go forward with that. That is our present. And we got rid of these ways of life, perhaps, or things that weren't serving our greater purpose and us long term. So this is the time to move forward with those new ideas. This is a messenger propelling us, not halting us. And it also says that you are going to require a change to plans. Hello, we know that now, right? We've all had a big change to plans. Nothing was what we thought it was going to be in January or February, but it's still moving forward in a positive direction. We're still making changes in our organic soul of who we are that will bring us happiness. And this also says you need to embrace that you're someone who loves to learn and share, and that you are more brilliant than you realize. Don't dismiss the new ideas that are coming to you. That may be what the past you has done according to the Two of Action card, but the present you is going to have a new confidence and embrace the ideas and know that, hey, this is where I'm supposed to be. We hit the pause button and I found this new part of myself, and now I'm not paused, I'm moving forward. It also says, well, one thing you need to be careful about with your newfound confidence and your new ideas and your ultimate success is to be diplomatic and kind when speaking with other people. Not everyone is on the same place as the journey as you are. You're making progress in your spiritual and physical evolution. A lot of people aren't there yet. And it takes time for everyone to make that progress. And we sometimes try to bring people along that we want to be at that point, and we can't force that. And when you force that, then you say things that are blunt or kind of mean and things of that nature. There's also this harshness that's coming across from a lot of people right now, and that's coming from the people who are not ready to change. They're not seeing this as a move forward. If you're seeing this reading and you're getting this reading, your present is acknowledging that you're moving forward. But remember, a lot of people are still in that one step forward, two steps back. They're questioning themselves. They're not trusting your gut. You're making progress and trusting your gut. So be patient with those who aren't. They will get there. Your job is to make sure that you keep the right people around you at the right times and trust in where you're going. So when we have that as our foundation, we believe in ourselves. We surround ourselves with the right people. We trust that, hey, new things are here. Whether love it or hate it, you're dealing with new things. It's going in a good way. What does the future hold? And I'm so, so excited for the third card and how it fits perfectly with this story. I don't, I always say, I don't know how it happens. I do know the angels and the spirits are like, hello, this is us coming in. And I see all these paternal and maternal figures, grandmothers, parents that are coming in, really encouraging their loved ones to keep going in positive directions, giving those affirmative pats on the back, older siblings, things like that in spirit. So they're coming forward as this ultimate angel. And they picked a major card. There are not that many major cards in a deck of 72 cards. Sometimes you have 12 to 20. So it is not the majority of the cards. It's not even half the cards. It's not even, a third of the cards. So when you get a major card, it's important. So that means that should you follow those 2 steps, you dismiss what you don't need. You embrace your new world, which if you're hearing this reading, you probably already are. Then you will be gifted with intuition and insight that will carry you through the rest of your life. And that's what the major card is called, intuition and insight. It says you will finally be able to follow your own insight over the advice of others. Remember, I told you that was repetitive. That was going to come back a couple times in this reading. But you'll be in a position in the future where you're not guided by fear or worry. I want you to take a moment to think about that. Our world up to this point, and me included, I'm an anxious bundle, has been guided by fear and worry. Worry about what comes next. What are we going to do? Are we going to be okay? And our world has been totally in upheaval. And now we're finding these new parts of ourselves that our worry neglected. Maybe it was always there, but our worry neglected it. And now this future is saying, you are intuitive, you are insightful, you aren't living in fear or worry anymore. And it also says, if you have any darkness inside you, it's okay to keep that in there. You don't have to release that into the world in unhealthy ways. And if we think about that, the world has been a place where people's darkness comes out in all this craziness and anger or violence. And the future's looking better once we embrace our true selves. So this deck, I think, is very specific to people, and I think it's also broad sweeping for so many of us right now. So in sum, what I want you to know, I want you to know that we are all people that have old habits that die hard. We are all people that sometimes pull in the wrong people into our lives or put too much energy into something that's no longer serving us. So it's okay. We can get past that, and we are getting past that, because at our present, we're discovering these pieces of ourselves that we never thought we'd discover. And our loved ones on the other side who thought that we always knew this are, yay, yay, rah, rah, you're figuring it out. I knew what you were capable of. Remember what the people you love the most who are watching over you think of you, and try for a moment to see yourself through their eyes, because that's what they're saying to you in this reading. They know what great things you're capable of that you forgot about yourself. And then in the future, your intuition and insight will be so gifted within you that you'll be going forward in just the right direction you need to be. So those were our 3 cards. I'm going to show them to you once more. I'm sure I didn't with a couple. The 2 of action was your past card. Our messenger of thought is this lovely lady. See how we're transitioning from dependence to independence? I like that transition. And you'll see that she's starting to wear more powerful clothes. She's starting to own her uniqueness, become who she is. And then you become the all-powerful, much like the angels that are watching out for you. And now you're owning your uniqueness in a divine way. It's a beautiful way to transition among these 3 cards, past, present, and future. I hope that this helps uplift you. I think that this is a really uplifting read. You never know when you're going in if you're going to get a tough love or harsh information or a little bit of both. And this started off a little bit of both, but it really ultimately is an uplifting read. So go away feeling confident, proud, and accept the new you, whoever that is at this moment. I want to thank you for tuning in for Witchy Wednesday and the 3-card pull. If you think this reading was perfect for someone else that you know in your life, please feel free to share it with them. I will also put it up on our other social medias later. But remember that you are very, very loved. Your loved ones on the other side are keeping you in embrace right now and encouraging you to be your truest self. Thanks again for tuning in for Witchy Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed the 3-card reading, and we will see you this weekend for Cemetery Saturday and Spooky Story Sunday. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.